The fall is one of the best times of the year to grow kale in your garden. Kale happens to be one of the top 10 hardy greens. So hardy greens are the greens that can take a frost and keep on growing. They are perfect for fall and winter gardens. All you need to grow hardy greens is a few unique garden tools and a few garden skills. So today I'd like to share with you the 7 keys to successfully growing fall kale. Hello, my name is Lynn Gillespie and I'm an organic farmer, and I've been growing hardy greens 52 weeks out of the year in the Rocky Mountains for over 35 years. And I grow hardy greens through wind, rain, snow, and below 0° Fahrenheit weather. And I love to grow kale through the cold season, and you can learn how to easily grow kale too. All right, let's get started with key number 1. So number 1 is what variety to grow. So most varieties of kale are very cold hardy, and the question here is which one grows the fastest in the cold season. And we've grown several types of kale, and red Russian kale has outgrown all the other kale varieties in the cold and in the heat. And we grow this kale all year round with amazing production any time of the year. Key number 2 is timing. For the fall garden planting, you want to get your kale established before it gets too dark or too cold. So in zones 3 and 4, you're going to want to plant your fall kale the first week of September to get it established before you start getting hard frosts. Now for zones 5 and 6, you'll want to get your kale planted the second week of September to get it established before it gets too cold. Now for zones 7 and 8, you want to get your kale planted the third week of September, and you will need to get past some of the summer heat for the best success, but you'll want to get them planted before the day length gets too short. For zones 9 and 10, you have a great opportunity to grow some amazing kale all winter long. It is best to get your kale planted the 4th week of September if the summer heat has subsided. If not, then plant the 1st week of October. So our goal here is to get the kale in before the days get too short and after the summer heat is gone. All right, key number 3 is location. So the sun will be low in the sky during the cold months, and you will want to grow your cold season kale in full sun. So if you don't have a garden spot that it's in full sun, see if one of your neighbors does. They may have the perfect location, and they may want to grow along with you. All right, key number 4 is plant spacing. I like to harvest small leaves, not large, tough leaves, and I plant my kale in tight spacing to keep the leaf size down. So I will plant every ½ inch down the row with the rows 3 inches apart. So key number 5 is water. This is a major key. If the plants are too wet, they can rot off at the soil level and become waterlogged and freeze harder. So it's important to only water when needed. You know, sometimes I will water my winter kale only once a month. So if you're not sure if the plants need any water, then just go ahead and skip it. You know, you're going to be really surprised as to how long they can go without watering. All right, key number 6 is fertilizer. Kale is not a very heavy feeder, especially in the winter. So I will feed the bed with a ½ inch of compost and a sprinkle of organic fertilizer before I plant, and then I don't feed the garden the rest of the growing season. So they're super easy. Before we get to our last key, I would like to invite you to enroll in our Hardy Greens eCourse if you want to learn more skills about growing the top 10 hardy greens. So in this course, you can learn to start the top 10 hardy greens in your location for the best success, which variety of hardy greens grows well and which one will not, what soil the hardy greens grow best in and how to create that soil, how to keep your greens growing when the temperatures dip to 0° Fahrenheit, how to make an easy protective structure for your greens, and how to use heaters in your protective structures to protect the plants through the coldest nights, and how to enhance the antifreeze system in your plant so they can survive the cold, and so much more. To learn more, go to our website, thelivingfarm.org/hardy-greens-eCourse. For anyone interested, there's a $30 coupon code in the description below for you to get a discount off the course. All right, key 7 is protection. For a lot of us who get snow in the winter, we will need to keep the plants covered so they'll be a little bit warmer and keep the ground from freezing. So you'll need 3 layers. The first is a rigid structure to keep the covers off the plants. I use a low ton or a cold frame. Next is an insulative cover, and the last is a waterproof cover. So it's important to keep the insulative cover dry. Now with these 3 layers, you can protect your plants down to around 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if your plant needs more protection down to 0 degrees, we teach those skills in the Hardy Greens eCourse. You know, kale is one of the best hardy greens to grow in the fall and winter, and with just a few garden tools and a few new skills, you can grow kale during the cold season too.